Avilio. Welcome, wizards, witches, and nomads. My name's David Syczylo, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to visit my channel, Wands and Reviews. We all know that Harry Potter first met Dobby the house elf, who served the Malfoy family at the time when he appeared in Harry's bedroom at the Dursleys' home at number 4 Privet Drive. So I'm not going to elaborate on Dobby's history today. In fact, I'm going to skip forward to the skirmish at Malfoy Manor. After Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione Granger were captured by a group of snatchers and brought to Malfoy Manor, using the shard from the two-way mirror that Harry carried with him, he asked the man he saw within for some help. Aberforth Dumbledore sent Dobby as he was able to apparate and disapparate to and from the Malfoy Manor. Harry instructed Dobby to first take Luna Lovegood and Mr. Garrick Ollivander from the cellar, then return for them. From upstairs, Bellatrix Lestrange heard the noise of Dobby disapparating and sent Peter Pettigrew to investigate. Harry and Ron managed to overpower Pettigrew with Dobby's help. Going upstairs, attempting to rescue Hermione Granger and Griphook, Harry and Ron were forced to surrender when Bellatrix Lestrange threatened to cut Hermione Granger's throat with her knife. Just then, Dobby caused a chandelier to fall near Bellatrix Lestrange, who of course became angry. As the other heroes were gathering to have Dobby take them away, Dobby disarmed Bellatrix Lestrange and Narcissa Malfoy from their wands, just as Harry Potter done the same to Draco Malfoy. As Dobby was disapparating the group, Bellatrix Lestrange threw her knife and it disappeared where the heroes stood. Our heroes appeared on the shores of Shell Cottage. Harry discovered that Dobby had been fatally wounded by Bellatrix's knife, which was now protruding from Dobby's chest. Harry ran over to hold and comfort Dobby. Dobby looking up at Harry, and with his last breath, he said, "Such a beautiful place to be with friends. Dobby is happy to be with his friend, Harry Potter." And then Dobby passed away in his friend's arms. There's a number of deaths within the wizarding world, but there's a sore spot for many fans that is Dobby's death, as it's one of the most heartbreaking to witness. Harry cared so much for Dobby and all that he's done for him, that in the gardens above Shell Cottage, Harry dug a grave for Dobby without using any magic. On a large stone he found to use as a grave marker, Harry Potter carved on it with his wand, "Here lies Dobby, a free elf." Today, I wanted to share with you the gravestone that I recreated for Dobby as seen in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. When I first started creating Dobby's gravestone, I started by taking an image of the gravestone from the movie and estimated the size of it. Okay, before I go any further, maybe I should start with this. After a few people have seen my finished Dobby gravestone that I recreated, a couple of the people have asked, why does it look a little bit tall? I can tell you why. When you see the gravestone on screen, the bottom portion of the gravestone is actually buried in the sand. And as I was figuring out the approximate size, I included what was not seen. After I figured out the size that I thought was appropriate, I enlarged the image and made a life-size template. I then took my template and traced it onto a scrap piece of insulation foam. I roughly cut out 4 pieces. 3 of the layers I glued together, and the 4th layer was not glued yet. I shaped the foam to a rough outline of the gravestone. Next, I took my template and using a pen, I traced the lettering onto the 4th piece of foam. The pressure of the pen indented the foam, so I may cut it out. Using an X-Acto knife, I ever so slowly and carefully cut the lettering into the foam, being sure to save the insides of the letters. After I was happy with the lettering, I cleaned up the piece and glued it onto the other 3 pieces that have already been glued together. A rough version of Dobby's gravestone was starting to take shape. I proceeded to fill and shape the foam to a close approximation of the gravestone. I did a lot of work to clean it up and add in some details, and when I was happy with how the gravestone was looking, using acrylic primer, I hand-painted the lettering. Once dry, I went ahead and hand-painted the rest of the gravestone with primer. Once primed, I did some more cleanup and touch-up work on the gravestone, and I started to finesse the details. I reprimed it with a little darker color and sanded it down to start the base layer for painting. I was not just going to paint the gravestone one color and be done. I planned to layer various colors to give the gravestone a little more realistic look. I actually did this process a few times because I was nitpicking some of the details that would most likely not be seen when painted. So after a final prime and sanding, it was time to finally finish up the painting of the gravestone. I lightly started to hand paint, mostly dry brush, each layer of various color. I was referencing an image of the actual gravestone from the movie as I was doing this, and once I was happy with the overall layering of the color, I let it dry. I then, ever so delicately, mixed up some paint and carefully hand brushed in the letters on the gravestone. And of course, to help blend everything in and protect my hard work, I used a foam-safe clear coat on the gravestone just to protect it, and now my replicated Dobby gravestone was complete. And this is my finished replica of Dobby's gravestone as seen in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. As you can see, here lies Dobby, a free elf. And I'll rotate it for you so you can see just what it looks like. And on the back side, it's just plain and smooth, but I wanted, to make it 360. And it weighs maybe about 7 to 8 pounds, it's pretty heavy for foam. But I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. And the real stone marker that was used in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows was left on location after filming in the sand dunes of Freshwater Beach in Wales. You could have gone there and paid your respects at the gravesite of Dobby and take a picture. I said you could. Unfortunately, the stone marker was stolen and the gravesite was disrupted. But there's a silver lining in such a dark and deceitful incident. Thanks to the countless fans, respect to Dobby has been restored with hundreds, if not thousands, of decorated stones left behind by wizards and muggles alike at the site where Dobby's stone marker once stood. And no, the real stone marker has never been recovered. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please click on that thumbs up button, and if you would, subscribe to my channel. I'm still trying to get my subscriber count up, and I can only do that with your help. And remember to share this video with your family and all of your friends. Thank you, and have a wonderful day, and remember Dobby.